Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
And they say a hero will save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I know that Leo is laughing because I referenced this song. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the UltraQuest podcast here on the Morphin Network. I'm Mike Time Rider Zero, your host, and with me is my special co-host for this season of Ultraman. We got not just any blue dinosaur guy, we got that blue dinosaur guy. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Had a lot of fun at Anime Los Angeles. Hope I saw some of you there, but if not, hey, all good.
Yeah, no, like both you and Steve were at ALA this weekend, so like I hope you guys had a lot of fun there.
Yep.
What I know for sure is like he was dressed up as Trafalgar Law on Sunday. So, you want to let us share what you got dressed up as this weekend?
Let's see. Yeah, I did Deca Blue from Deca Ranger. I did Ryo Saba from City Hunter. Old Man Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my god! Like a dragon. How you doing? Did you get any good ribbons while you were there? Because I know that one of the biggest things about it is the ribbon hunt.
Oh yeah, I got my badge full of ribbons hanging up on my wall.
Yeah, I haven't been to ALA since maybe 2017, and I remember like the ribbons I collected that year was longer than Tom Baker's scarf from Doctor Who.
Dang!
It went like all the way from 1 foot, wrap around, keep going. And all the way down to the other foot. I'm like, damn. I probably still have some, though probably not all the badges somewhere in my room because, I never threw them out, but the adhesive came off because it's a long string of badges. So, but I think my favorite will always be that one time where I got that Zangyak Empire badge for dressing up as a tokusatsu character.
Nice.
And then Draco Malfoy cosplayer gave me a Harry Potter one. Not because I was dressed up as a Harry Potter character, because that was a criterion, but because I recognized that they were specifically dressed up as the musical version of Draco Malfoy. Oh, you haven't been to Big Potter? It's all the way in Mars! You haven't been to Mars, Potter? So with those two badges back to back, you have a phrase that says, wanted, dead or alive, or worse, expelled. It was perfectly timed. It wasn't even intentional because back then I was just like I would just attach them as I got them, whatever the next badge is, that's the one I'm adding like then and there. I didn't if I ever do a badge hunt in the future, I'm just going to carry them all in a Ziploc bag and then just attach them all methodically after the convention's over.
Yeah.
Although the Pokemon one's going to be a little challenging because then I'm going to have to dig in and try to find a specific Pokemon type. And oh no, I got a Steven Universe one instead. I'm sorry. Is Amethyst super effective against ghost types? I guess not. Speaking of type advantages, we are here to talk about Ultraman Blazar, episode 20. Yeah, 22. Yeah, Insurance Hero. And I gotta say, I had fun with this episode. I'm not gonna lie, though.
Yeah, it's focused on a one-off character and basically featured a knockoff Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, is this gonna be another Teraraki episode like we wanted? Nope. It's not even an Emmy episode, and you'd think we would get a lot of Emmy episodes. Nope. Not even an Emmy episode, not even a Gento episode. It is a random one-off characters.
Yeah.
It's like imagine having an episode of Power Rangers focusing only on Richie, and I don't mean like like you mean like a Trini focus episode where she tries to ask Richie out on a date. No, I mean it literally focuses on Richie in the entire episode. Oh, there's a giant
Zach's cousin Curtis.
Yeah, like Richie or Curtis. Like I'm cool with either one, but like I feel like Richie's like less remembered.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for remembering. Every time I bring up these two characters, it's like, you know what would make Power Rangers great if Richie and Curtis stayed in the show even after the power transfer. Like, have Richie develop a relationship with Aisha. Have Curtis hang out with Adam. You know, have Rocky hang out with Jeremy, I guess, because he appeared in one episode.
Yeah.
But no, Richie and Curtis were mainstays, and there was even episodes where they fought against putties. So I'm like, I like this concept. Just have civilian characters help out the Rangers while staying civilians. They don't have to know the Rangers are Rangers. They just have to help out. Like literally 2 seconds of passing of the torch where Carlos and Ashley are like helping people out.
Yeah, or when TJ and Cassie actually saved Tommy.
Yeah, except they don't get turbo powers, or Mighty Morphin in this case. They just help out for the sake of helping out. I like that idea. And like they did it pretty well in Black RX.
Mm-hmm.
Not Masked Rider, but specifically Black RX. Because Kotaro had like 3 friends helping him out the whole time. Like you got a girlfriend who's a martial artist, you got a princess with water powers, and you got Joe the Haze, because everyone loves Joe the Haze.
Yeah, there were a couple episodes in Shinkenger where Hikoma actually threw down.
Yeah. And there was even an episode where like some of the Kurokos were helping out with the fighting. Yeah. And of course we got the legend himself, Shinken Brown.
Yes, Richard Brown.
Yeah. Richard Brown. Yeah. You know, I wonder who would win in a death battle between Richard Brown and Whacker Wilson. That would be a fun showdown.
Yeah. Oh, Bucky Bonds. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I like the name Whacker Wilson more because like that is such a crazy name and one they would use in an English dub of Abba Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this episode about? Well, it's kind of interesting. So it starts off with like 2 kaiju just like fighting each other, and I know that Steve like mentioned during our Kamen Rider build discussion. Boy, you're making a lot of One Piece references. Well, here's one: Red and Blue Ogres. They're like this is literally the 2 rivals from Elbath in Little Island.
Yeah.
It's like every day on the day they fight each other, then they clock out, have some lunch, fight some more, clock out, then go back to their kaiju wives, then go to bed, wake up, clock in, resume fighting. Process repeats itself.
Yeah. It's like Tom and always chasing Jerry.
Yeah. I was thinking more like on the lines of those Wile E. Coyote cartoons where you got that sheepdog.
Oh yeah, Sam the Sheepdog and Wile E. Coyote's cousin Ralph the Wolf.
Yeah, Ralph the Wolf. Yeah, and like it's like they're both friends. They both clock in, then they're enemies. But then when they clock out, they're back to being friends because it's like, yeah, it's your job to try to steal the sheep, and my job to stop you. It's just a job. It's just a job. At the end of the day, we're still best friends. But while we're on the clock, I will murder you if you take my sheep.
Yeah. I think that was actually they actually made a PS1 game based off of that, like where you play as Ralph and you're trying to steal the sheep and avoid Sam.
Wow, I gotta find this game so I could
It's called Sheep Raider.
Sheep Raider. Ha 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 ha. Woolacroft. Okay. Yeah. No, bad joke is bad. Okay, you're better at this than I am, so it is what it is. But yeah, so yeah, knock knock. Who's there? There's a volcano coming to Quahog. It's like you got to get volcano insurance. Does it cover volcano-based kaiju? No, but seriously, you should get volcano insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an insurance company for kaiju, and I like to imagine that this is a play on the most recurring criticism of Power Rangers, where it's like you got giant robots and kaiju destroying all these buildings. Like is everything insured or something?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, because those rates must go through the roof, and they probably do. They probably do. But the difference between getting volcano insurance in Quahog versus getting kaiju insurance in Japan is that kaiju actually exist in Japan. Like on a weekly basis.
Godzilla got his citizenship a few years ago.
Yeah. And every now and then, some of the kaiju, take a trip to America like any other Japanese shonen protagonist. Yeah, that's why we have Godzilla 2014, Godzilla King of Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong versus Mechagodzilla. And now you got the new Godzilla versus Kong. And like people are like, why is he pink? He's not pink. He's light red. Yeah. Oh man, I missed that Decade video. But for real though, no, he's magenta. It has a high frequency. It is more lethal than blue. It's so much more lethal that the human eye cannot naturally see the color magenta. In order to see magenta, you need to see white light go through a green absorbing filter.
Wow.
Yeah, because otherwise you are not going to see magentas naturally occurring. See, green and yellow, cyan and yellow are naturally occurring because they occur at frequencies higher than red and lower than green, or higher than green but lower than blue. But the thing is, magenta would in theory be at a frequency that's higher than blue and lower than red, which is impossible. So you need to literally observe red and blue waves at the same time, at the same magnitude, in order to perceive magenta. So yeah, so like that's how crazy and paradoxical magenta is, and we have a Kamen Rider based on that color.
Decade.
Yep. Yep. I was gonna say Geo, but you're right. Yeah, and like, why not have Godzilla take up the color of the Destroyer of Worlds?
True.
Yeah. But yeah, so one of these kaiju insurance agents, he's not doing too well. He hasn't made a sale in the entire month. Even his much younger, much more slick talking, like a big teeth wearing coworker's like, really? You haven't made a sale? You're gonna go door to door? And let me tell you, buddy, door to door isn't gonna work. This ain't the 1980s,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I swear, I hate Brian Griffin when he got those teeth.
Yeah.
I think those are the same teeth that one lion had in Beastars.
Yep. He kind of reminds me of Red White from the first Phoenix Wright game.
Phoenix Wright. He can write my Phoenix anytime. I'm just kidding. No, but Phoenix Wright will right any wrong. So yeah, I can make puns too.
There you go.
It's like if you don't make a sale, you're fired. Yes, it was so over the top. I had to make a Cat in the Hat reference.
All good.
All good. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're shamelessly promoting a Universal Studios Japan. Yeah. So he goes door to door, gets rejected all the time, like he's Leslie Knope in the first 4 seasons of Parks and Rec. And
the first half of Tommy Boy until he gets his chicken wings.
Yeah. Man, I haven't seen Tommy Boy in years. Man, Chris Farley and David Spade were such a great duo.
They were.
Like, I swear, one of these days we should on the Buttery Show we should do a Spade Farley month, where it's like we do movies that specifically include both of those 2 actors, because including only one of those 2 actors would be too easy.
True.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many Tommy Chong movies are there without Cheech, or vice versa?
Not really.
Yeah, but I will say
this.
Cheech
has more solo than Chong does.
That's true. Yeah, but Chong was my favorite character on that '70s show. So. Yeah. Wait, Leo, you were in Vietnam? Yeah, dude, it was crazy times, man. Good times, good times. Not Vietnam. I'm talking about watching that '70s show. Just to be clear. You know what I love about good times? Dynamite.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so the last house he visits is to an old lady who because of his sales pitch, she accidentally ends up ruining her lunch. And so he tries to make up for it by fixing her house, which is something you wouldn't really see an insurance sales rep do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's, I mean, you're supposed to, convince people to sell their souls or something for, I don't know, oceanfront beach property in Montana.
Yeah.
But no, look at you. You're being the good guy. You know what this reminds me of? Bob Parr. Bob Parr is the greatest insurance salesman of all time. You know why? Because he never sold any insurance. In fact, he helps his clients explore legal loopholes in order to get their settlements.
There you go.
And that's why, he got fired from that job and became a superhero while being a hero is still illegal. Love you. Yeah. Yeah. So, and they're doing a lot of stuff together. Like he's fixing her lights, her flooring, her roofing, and she treats him to a hot meal, which is like, this is the first hot meal I had all month. I'm like, oh, that is so cute. That's so cute. And she finally agrees to buy the insurance because he was so helpful. I'm like,
you finally got one.
Yeah, I finally got one, and it's so adorable. But just before she could finish signing it, earthquake. Nope, it's just 2 kaiju fighting it out. It's like, really? You have to bring it here? You have to bring the fighting here?
Yeah.
And what I especially love is how it's like all of the other insurance agents they start running to their phones because you have a bunch of people making legal claims. I'm like, really now, you guys sell kaiju insurance in a country that has kaiju attacks all the time, and you're suddenly surprised that your phones are going off? Really?
Go figure.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this insurance salesman up to this point?
Honestly, he seems like a pretty upstanding guy. I mean, to see him just haul ass out to the old lady's house after he sees something's going down and tell her, "Hey, we're getting you to the evacuation center now."
Mhm. Yeah. He is going the extra mile. He is carrying her in more ways than one, and that's very impressive. This dude is middle aged, so he can carry a person on his back and still make a run for it for as long of a period as this is.
Good on him.
Meanwhile, the sleazy dude's like, "No, why'd you have? It's scarred. Why did you have to destroy that house? That is one of my clients' house. Now I'm gonna have to pay off a settlement." I'm like, "You work as a kaiju insurance salesman, and you get upset. I mean, you're better off selling volcano insurance."
Yeah.
It's like, you know why people are buying so much kaiju insurance? Because kaiju are prevalent. It's a practical disaster that's waiting to happen. Like you wouldn't necessarily buy earthquake insurance in the Midwest. You can, but getting earthquake insurance is more practical in California.
That is true.
Hurricane insurance, you could technically buy it anywhere, but it's more practical to get it in Florida. By the way, I hope everyone in Florida is safe from whatever the most recent storm was. But then, you would not get insurance for something that's not practical to get where you live. But kaiju, that is like, in real life in California, you would not get kaiju insurance because when's the last time we had a kaiju attack in California? But in Japan, it's like you'd think the first thing you'd do when you would buy your own property is get kaiju insurance just in case if, say, the Zangyak attack or V99 attacks, or if what's it called, Shark Matter attacks, or if let's see, what are some kaiju from? Oh, Yggdrasil amalgam from Kamen Rider card attacks. Like getting like, I get it. Like, insurance companies make money off of people not needing the insurance. They're paying monthly for the insurance so that, like, oh, should anything like this happen, like, we'll reimburse you. But while it's not happening, and typically it isn't happening, you're making money off of your clients because they're paying monthly for something that they don't need at the time. But then once they finally do need it, suddenly, like, oh, there's some loopholes? No, not loopholes. There's some fine print that disqualify you from getting a full settlement. Like, would $17 work for that second-degree coffee burn, madam?
Yeah.
Nope. I need a full skin graft. I got third-degree burns. What are you talking about? Yeah. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. The lawsuit won. But yeah. Like, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sell kaiju insurance because what is the likelihood a kaiju's going to destroy this neighborhood? High. By the way, I'm curious, have you ever had experience with corporate sales?
No, not really.
I've had experience with retail sales, which is not the same thing. Like you work at a store, you approach customers, convince them to buy things they don't need. You don't make commission, but you get your minimum wage pay, which is better than being unemployed. But I mean, depending on like what your ED rate is, but assuming you're not on EDD, yeah, no, like making some money is better than no money, but yeah. You'd think, oh, I just sold this guy a $400 ice dragon statue for Halloween that he did not need. You'd think I would get some kind of commission. Nope. Same minimum wage job, but hey, if it pays off those bills at Cedar Sinai, that's all that matters.
True.
But corporate sales, that's a different ballgame. I've been interviewed for those positions, but I never could agree to that because that's not my ballgame.
True.
Like I don't know if you've ever applied for corporate sales, but like it's basically multi-layered marketing. Well, it's not so much marketing, but it is multi-layered like that, where it's like you need to make this many sales to make commission, and then your commission is this percent until you make this amount of money, in which case then it will become your commission percentage will become higher. And the way it works is like, oh, you get leads, you call those leads, convince them to buy stuff, they enjoy the services, word of mouth, and then they give like what's it called, friends and family like guest passes to use these things. And then you try to get the guests to apply for membership or whatever service you're doing. So it's basically multi-level marketing, without it technically being multi-level marketing. But it is sales, though. It's just it's not my ballpark. It's not my thing. I prefer like my ball game is retail sale because I'm better at helping people directly, giving them the small things they want or need, giving them the best choices, and maybe occasionally giving them that they don't need but they potentially want. You never know. I mean that's. I would say like make a person spend an extra $20 is certainly less sleazy than make a person like apply for like a what's it called, a contract to pay for a service for the course of like 9 to 12 months for something that they very likely will not be using on a regular basis.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah. The name of the game is Report. Like that's why like I have more respect for this dude, the main character of this episode, than I do for that sleazy guy on the phone. Because rapport, freaking rapport, like that is like the most important thing if you're a salesperson.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, going door to door is archaic. Yes, it is archaic. But at least you're giving people a better idea of the positive values of your company by representing the company in a hands-on way that shows that, yeah, you're there to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, yeah, Ultraman and Earth Garon are getting their butts kicked at first. Yeah. But once they team up, it's like, hey, you know what? Toro, I mean, monkey.
Yeah.
Mono. Yeah, like he uses that double blade with the flip thing. That's like that bullfighters.
Yeah, the tape that the matadors use.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of bullfighting. It's like for me, it's one thing to eat and to kill a bull and eat its flesh. It's another thing to make a clown out of a bull and then kill it and then not eat it. And I'm pretty sure because of the humiliation. I don't know. It's just like it's like I know we have vegan fans and like I know they may or may not criticize for not being vegan, like whatever you may be, but to my credit, I have rules, and there are certain lines I will not cross. Bullfighting is one of those lines I will not cross.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't sit right with me. Like one of those things, just like putting potato chips on ice cream or pineapple on pizza, or literally taking candy from a baby.
Well, yeah.
Just like those lines I will not cross, man. Just can't. You know, that one episode of The Simpsons, painful to watch, but you know, I mean, there's good literature about it. There's good literature like that take place that involve bullfighters or people associated with bullfighters, like Book of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie. But again, not a fan of the sport. But it was funny when it was used here because it's just silly.
It is, yeah.
He made a drape out of flames, and he's like taunting the monkey.
Yeah.
And yes, he thought out Earth Heron, and yes, they did a finisher together. It was very nice. Good to see Earth Heron like actually being there for the play of the game.
Yep, like all that work Yasunobu put on Alcon actually came in handy.
Yeah, finally, he's getting his wreck. 4 out of 5 episodes, fantastic. And the episode ends with what's called our main hero getting a huge line of people calling for specifically him to sell them kaiju insurance, which is great because that old lady had such a great experience with them. Word of mouth. Build rapport.
Yeah.
That felt great. So for real though, if you really want to get ahead in life, you have to. I'm not saying you have to kiss up to people, but you have to build bridges because you never know how you being kind to others can ripple to them helping you in some way, even if it's not directly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he saved this one woman's life, he gets to keep his job, and he's making legit sales. Meanwhile, karmically, sleazy salesperson is getting a lot of complaints from his customers saying he's acting like an asshole.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that their insurance doesn't cover those kaiju attacks. But also, just how much of a scumbag he was. It's like, no, why'd you have to destroy that house? That house is insured by me. It's like you don't care about. Okay, you don't really care about a person who's their home. You don't care about that person who's injured. You just care about that mission.
Yeah.
So that just boils the inside. Just. Anything you want to say about any other notes you want to say about this episode?
Well, overall, even though it was kind of just a regular kind of filler episode about an insurance salesman, it was actually pretty fun to watch. This guy kind of go the extra mile, and actually reap the rewards of what he sowed.
Yeah. Yeah, and what are your thoughts on the kaiju for this episode?
Basically, it's what happened if you get Godzilla and Kong off of Wish.com or Temu or something like that. But overall, it was kind of cool seeing two kaiju that work together to kind of where Ultraman and Earth Garon actually have to engage in a tag team match essentially.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of G-Force Kaiju Wrestling Federation.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that. Like Kaiju Wrestling Federation. You had to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch that on G4. And in between matches, you have new episodes of Transformers Cybertron. Because for some reason it was taken down from Cartoon Network. I don't know why, but hey, new episodes on G4 at 5 a.m. That kind of sucks, but it's there. but more importantly, kaiju wrestling.
Yes.
Like that is the most fun I've had watching a wrestling match since Sting had that babyface turn in WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like everyone loves Sting. I love Sting. You love Sting. They love Sting. We all love Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. And speaking of Sting, I can't wait to watch that sequel to Crow because Speedtrain's in it. Let's see how it plays out. Yeah, no, like I found it interesting. They brought back an old costume design from an earlier episode, but they also added a new one. But yeah, I will be honest though, whenever I see like an ice monkey kaiju, you know what it makes me think about?
What?
It reminds me of Storybook Rangers.
Oh,
When,
yeah.
Yeah, when they're inside that storybook and they had that repainted monkey monster with a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was like that's what it reminds me of. And yeah, I love how like suddenly they're teaming up. And yeah, it does remind me of the two giants from Little Island.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I remember they were referred to as Blue Ogre and Red Ogre in the TV show, but I'm thinking like, what did the Blue and Red Ogre have to do with what's going on here? Because that's not what the story of Two Ogres was about. Like,
It wasn't, no.
No, like basically like Blue Ogre wanted to live amongst humans, so Red Ogre pretended to terrorize the place. So Blue Ogre could save the village and everyone would love them, but the problem is it would mean that Blue Ogre can't hang out with Red Ogre anymore because they're mortal enemies now.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, I'm like, what do these two characters from One Piece have anything to do with that story?
I have no idea.
Yeah, but I noticed that that imagery pops up a lot. Like even in one of the volume covers for Yu Hakusho, you got Yusuke Urameshi with Blue and a Red Ogre behind him. You see the two ogres as enemy characters in Okami. So
Yeah.
like, I know it's a recurring story, but it just feels weird when like the actual story behind it has very little to do with what's happening in the adaptation. Like take Urashima from Yu Yu Hakusho, for example. Like he has a box that can age or make younger anyone that breathes in its gas. This actually relates to the story of Urashima because like he spent 500 years not moving, and he's left to hold a box that must never be opened unless it'll force him to age back to his biological age. That makes sense. What's his name? Akira Momotaro, also from Yu Yu Hakusho. He has a pheasant form, a wolf form, and a monkey form, just like the loyal trio. Makintaro, like axe for a hand. There's really nothing to it. But yeah, the point is like if you're going to adapt Japanese folklore into your characters, at least make the references more, I wouldn't say congruent, but at least more faithful.
True.
Yeah, like even that episode of Bokinger where they found that giant peach, like 3 of the Rangers did dress up as, like a dog, a monkey, and a pheasant.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But yeah. Now we got these two kaiju, we got Timu Gojira versus Wish King Kong. So there's that. So what's your final score on this?
Overall, I'd say a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, yeah, it didn't really do much to like answer any questions we have about the story, but it was a really solid episode throughout, and it had a satisfying conclusion for the insurance salesman.
Yeah. But yeah, again, like this is what Bob Parr should have been in Incredibles, where it's like, yeah, he's an insurance salesperson, but he's actually helping people out. Good for him. And yeah, I hate how sleazy like some like corporate salespeople are, where it's like, at the end of the day, it's about the bottom dollar, not customer satisfaction. So it's good that we have this very fictional conclusion of, hey, you're fired because these people are giving a bad review to you. In the real world, it would have been very likely it's like, listen, I don't like that you're getting a bad rep, but you are the highest salesperson, so I'll give you one more chance to shape up. But no, here he actually got fired. So I give this episode a 10.
Nice.
Because speaking as someone who takes pride as someone who used to work in retail, I love it when bad salespeople get their just desserts.
Yes.
For the people. Customer satisfaction. 100% guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at comments. Let's see what we got. Okay, this is the true story of Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Not the hero we wanted, but the hero we needed.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's nice to see a regular, relatable person go through the struggle of being a kaiju salesman and be rewarded for his efforts through hard work and dedication. These episodes are very much needed. Honestly, you're right. Like the counter argument for that is there's only 25 episodes and we're close to the end of the show. That's like the one thing I would have to disagree with you on, because keep in mind, if this episode happened earlier on, like, I would 100% agree with you. But as it is right now, I only 98% agree with you. Because you're right. You are right.
Mm-hmm.
The timing just doesn't work. Just the timing doesn't work. But you are right. We do need relatable characters to help us like relate to these circumstances. I mean, that's probably why Keiwa was such an important person in Geeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or heck, even Banjo in Kamen Rider Build. We need like the everyman who we can relate to and deals with like average things. Heck, one of the greatest, probably one of the most beloved episodes of Static Shock, not just to me, but to like people in general, is probably the one episode where Virgil does not become static in the entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Virgil being Virgil, dealing with civilian things, And heck, honestly, I think that's one of the things that makes Spider-Man such a great character, because he has moments where he's not able to use spider powers, but he has to deal with average, everyday things that we all do, like time management skills, falling in love, falling out of love, getting dumped, finding new love, having to like struggle with class, being the smartest person in the room while not being able to like show that you're the smartest person in the room, or just using science responsibly, because too many Spider-Man villains are the product of people cutting corners in the scientific method.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Lizard.
Technically, Sandman, even though he wasn't the one that was cutting corners, someone was.
Happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. A pair of shoes fell on my head, and now I am the camp. Okay. Thomas Hayden Church, honestly, like, I loved him in Spider-Man 3. I know it seemed like such like a redundant character for most of the movie. Like, honestly, he carried the movie where Peter.
He did.
That's saying a lot because Peter carried that movie. The romance between Gygus and Red King is funny, but also it is. Again, it's like the two ogres of Little Island. You know, it's like they've been fighting for 900 years, but they're still best friends through their combat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lol. Timu Gojira versus Wish King Kong.
Yeah, it does. That does work. Yeah.
I hate how, as annoying as that one song was for Timu, they changed it, so now they say Temu instead of Timu. And I'm like, while Temu does seem like the more correct pronunciation in conversation, I feel like the song works better if they just said Timu, because when they say Temu, it's like that pitch. It's like, feels like jazz, like in your ear, like Temu, Temu, Temu. It's like that's. I mean, even as this, the song was already annoying, but you made that annoying song and made it even more annoying by ironically using correct pronunciation.
How bizarre.
Yeah. Earth Garon and Blazar teaming up is cool, and Abondo did say that he was going to modify Earth for space while doing paperwork. So we might see that in the last few episodes. Yeah, no, like the plot description for episode 24 says they're going to be a mod 4, so let's see how that plays out. But at the same time, it feels a little anticlimactic that, like, oh, the big bad of the entire show is just a random kaiju that landed on the moon. Even if you spend 3 episodes fighting it, because, like, you got the one episode that leads up to its reveal, and then you got probably a 2-part episode actually fighting it. Like, there better be season 2 or Blazar. I feel like Blazar needs 2. Because it just feels weird, like ending it off on what feels like just another 2-part episode of a kaiju battle, even if it does take place on the moon.
Yeah. Has there ever been an Ultraman with more than one season, or?
I mean, like every Ultraman since Ginga was only 25-ish episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though they say, oh, but Ginga has 2 seasons, yes, that's 2 seasons at total into 25 episodes. We're talking like 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, esto no es bueno. Necesitamos más capítulos.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, like, how to feel about this. Like, I mean, up to this point, the show is good. I'm actually enjoying this, and like I said before, this is like the first time I've watched an Ultraman season all the way through, and I'm actually looking forward to watching the next episodes, which is surprising, considering how much I don't care for Gotchard. But yeah, I feel like we need to rush a lot of close circles. Well, that's the reveal. There should be a second season. Like, at least Dinah was a sequel to Tiga, kind of, sort of. But it did involve a 7-year time skip, to my knowledge. So I don't know if we should have a time skip in the next season just to close off some last minute gaps.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it for the comments, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and hit the bell icon to be notified for our latest videos. Last week we did 3 episodes of Blazar and 2 batches of Build, which means that as of today, we're only 1 episode behind on Blazar, but then on Friday we'll be 2 episodes behind again. But then on Tuesday next week we'll be fully caught up, just in time for the final episode. Assuming that's the final episode. So, like, great landing, all things considered. And of course, we're back to doing Gotchard on Wednesdays and King Ogre on Thursdays because those shows are back to television. Blazar, we are moving that to Mondays. So, like, here we are, Monday evening. Guys, have a good start to your week. And yeah, so Sunday, more Rebuild. We're gonna do episodes 35 through 35 through 40. So, I can't wait for that. Also, check out our sister channel, Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews and video games. We did the 1994 film, The Crow, starring Brandon Lee. And this coming Saturday, we're going to be doing the sequel, Crow City of Angels, which features the late actress Trang. So, here's hoping it'll be good, though I've not heard promising things about it. We're still going to watch it. We're still going to discuss it. Let us know what you guys think about it on Saturday. And if you want to check out our personal content, where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me over on Instagram at That Blue Dinosaur Guy.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And stay safe, stay hydrated, have diversity, kids. Hug your loved ones. And we hope you guys have a wonderful day. Just remember, don't buy volcano insurance if you don't live within, let's say, 30 kilometers of an actual volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is the wise thing to do if I am a monkey's uncle.
True.
So you want to close this off?
I'd like to think that Gento from Ultraman Blazar would make good friends with Sagat from Street Fighter because both of them are scarred.
I don't know.